What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I literally was looking at my screen. I was like, oh, we need to mute the music before it gets in my ears. But what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Good to have you guys on another segment on Adobe Live. You guys just came from a beautiful segment just prior. All the branding things are absolutely amazing. So with that said, I want to say hello to all of you guys. We have Chriselle, we have Sam. What is going on, my friend? We have Arif, Laura, Chris. What's going on, guys? We have Umacorn. Glad to have you all here. We have a complicatedly simple challenge today inside of Adobe XD. This is actually one of my favorite challenges that we have for the next couple of days / weeks. So with that said, let's talk about how to join the challenge if you are 100% brand spanking new to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenges, how to join us and how to submit your work and how to join our amazing Discord community. With that said, let me share my screen and let's begin. So, first off, I would love to actually know how many of you all, let me know in the chat, put 2 in the chat, or just say, hey, I'm new to Adobe XD, and understanding what exactly it is so I can give some context in terms of what it's for while we're going along with today's challenge. But other than that, say hello. What's going on, Vivian? Or Viviana. There's an A there. All right, so how this works is if you guys go to behance.net/challenge/XD, you guys come to this Wondiferous page, and it's pretty simple. It tells you how it works, tells you how to join us, and very simply, if you haven't already joined our Discord, hit this button. It will allow you to join our Discord community, and we'll talk a little bit about that in just a moment. But today is day number 2, and by the way, just in case if you are new, this is running from January 31st all the way to February 25th. So you guys have time. This is why these videos are recorded. You guys can come back and relearn things that you might not be able to follow along with me presently. So today is February 2nd. We are doing scrolling effects to create a browsing experience for a mobile streaming platform using scrolling effects and auto-animation. I'm super excited to do this. So while I take a little bit of a nose breather, I'm going to look at chat over here. We have some new people. We have Rita. We have, okay, Bex is new-ish. I know what it does, but learning functionality. All right, Bex, you're going to be learning some of that today, and hopefully I can answer some of your questions. But okay, by the way, if you haven't already and you kind of want to dive in on this challenge, highly recommend you click that get started button so you can get the file for today's challenge downloaded. And when you pop that baby open, you will be blessed with this scenery. I essentially gave you guys the entire project because or a little bit more of a complicated version of what we're going to be doing today. We're going to do maybe like about 4/5 of this. But if you guys want to go a little bit further, I left the functionality in there for you guys to reverse engineer because I love you guys, okay? So Bex, this is mainly for you. But essentially what we're going to be doing today, I don't think the actual functionality works. Oh, it does. I'm surprised. So some of the functionality that we're going to be doing today, yeah, this is actually a broken one. I have, you guys are going to have to link it up. I brought this over from another project in here, so it's not functioning 100%, but we are going to build it to function 100%, so have no worries. All right, so let's actually get into building some things though. And let me scroll down in my chat as well. Question, is there any way to display the layers in XD? Yes, there is, and thank you for mentioning that. So we talked about this a little bit on day 1 or day 0. So if you guys want to access layers, there's actually this little, you'll see this little icon down here. I'm not sure if you got, oh, I'm blocking it. Hold on, let me see if I can turn this off really quick, guys, so you can see what's happening here. So without me being there is a layers panel right here, or Control Y. And you also have your plugins just right here. So this entire left bottom corner is what you want and what you're gonna be utilizing. This is your plugins, this is your layers, and this is your document assets. So thanks for asking about that. So I'm gonna just pop me back on. I'm actually gonna move my camera. Actually, I'm not sure. Hold on. It looks like my keyboard actually just turned off, which is not fun. Give me a second, guys. It's not good to have a keyboard malfunction as soon as you go live, but I appreciate your guys' patience. Just give me a hot second. It should turn on just a moment. There we go. There's the rainbow. just like Skittles. All right. So what we're going to do here is we have our blank artboard. What we're going to do is we need to start making some squares. So what I want to do here is I'm just going to, just like we did yesterday, I'm just going to pull out and hold shift. I'm going to pull out a rectangle, or excuse me, a square, and it doesn't really matter how many I want. You guys can put 4, 5, 6, whatever, but I'm just going to turn on our repeat grid or Control R, and I'm going to drag out about 4 of these. And I'm also going to do kind of the same thing down this way. And you know what, I'm looking at these and I'm like, I probably should make them a little bit bigger. Let's see, we have 4 rows here. And I'm actually going to do that. So I'm going to make this a little bit larger. Make 4 this way. And I'm going to pull it down this way. And I can always rescale this. So I'm going to go with this. I'm actually going to ungroup this for right now, because I'm going to scale this by itself, just like that. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to regroup each row so that it's basically its own individual row. Chriselle says, oh yes, beautiful assets. Yeah, I'm totally sorry guys that I really should move my camera so that it's not on those important pieces. Now I probably know why some people didn't get that on day 0. So I'm gonna just group all of these pieces here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm also gonna take their, do I wanna keep their border? I'm gonna keep their borders on for right now. And let's see. You know what? So I'm gonna do the same thing, but I kind of want these corners to be rounded, but I don't want to have to go through each corner to round them. So I'm just gonna undo that. I'm going to do my 1 square, round it. Then I'm just gonna do everything that I just did again. Pull out 4, pull out 4, ungroup, and then regroup. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm gonna grab this, and what I want to do, and by the way, this beautiful masterpiece that we are doing today is inspired by an amazing designer called Andre. Last name I cannot pronounce, but if you guys want to check out the original on Dribbble, guys, punch this individual's name on Dribbble and you guys can see the beautiful animation that they have. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this diagonal just how we have here. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna select all of these groups and I'm just going to rotate it just like so. I can hold shift 2 to just make sure I get like my 15 degrees of angles. I'm gonna just rotate it 15 degrees and I'm gonna pull it in the center just like this. Right there. All right, so from here, and actually before I do that, I want to do 2 copies. So I'm gonna save this up here. I'm gonna duplicate it holding Alt and Shift, dragging our second one down, and it'll become apparent later why I'm leaving a duplication, because sometimes things get a little messy and we kind of have to go back without having to undo everything. So rotating, holding Shift, so it rotates 15 degrees. Center this puppy, both horizontally and vertically. There we go. And now I can duplicate this now, but before I do that, I want to do a couple of things. If you guys remember, I'm turning off my camera because I want to go to the plugin here. So I'm going to go to plugins, and I am going to, if you haven't already, download user profiles or Pexels, one or the other. You'll be able to get images right out of Adobe XD. So, and actually while I'm at it, I'm just going to move my camera here so I don't have to keep doing that over and over again. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is I want faces to populate in each one of these squares. So to do that, I am just going to click in, select all my squares, go to user profile, and I'm just going to insert random photo. And there we go. So we have random photos. I'm just gonna do that for all of my squares here, holding Control and Shift to select all my squares. insert random photo. And there we go. So I have all of my photos dropped in here. I really didn't have to leave XD. It's pretty straightforward. And what I'm doing here is I'm selecting all of my photo assets here, turning off the border because we no longer need those. And thank you, Sam, for dropping the chat. Elizabeth Mock says, awesome. So we have all of our photos. What I'm going to do now is I want to make our background black. So what I did here is just grab the artboard, go to appearance, and I'm just going to go to the 000 hex color for right now. All right, so what we're gonna do from here is we're gonna duplicate this. And this is kind of like the cool part. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna select all of this. We're gonna rotate it. And now we're gonna make our little drag animation. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to pull, and this, you guys can do this in any which way you guys desire, but I'm going to do this, there's cool animations that you all can, there'll be unique ways you guys decide to animate this. The way that I do this is not gonna be the same way that you all animate this. So I am just going to pull this just like so. And honestly, I probably could have just dragged it like this, but to each their own. So what we have here is our before and our after. This is where we're starting. This is where we're gonna end up. And we need to have a middle piece. And why I want to have a middle piece is because I want there to be a little bit of I want each square to kind of minimize before we go to the next screen. I'll show you what I mean. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to duplicate this, and I am going to, actually I don't think I'm going to duplicate this one. I'm going to duplicate the last state. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select each one of these squares, and I'm going to reduce them to about, I think, 200. I'm just going to lock this, and each square 200. And I'm going to try to, that's why. All right. Select all, rotate this. This is why I kept this, but we're not going to need that. What I'm going to do here instead is I'm just going to reduce each square here to about 200. I'm going to lock their aspect ratio, their width and height, 200. And I'm going to do the same for each square. Lock the aspect ratio, 200. Select all, lock aspect ratio, 200. And I can go smaller if I wanted to, but we'll try this out and see where it takes us. So we get a little bit of a squeeze effect. I'm going to select all of these again, holding shift, rotating 15 degrees, and now I'm going to pull this right over here. Something like that. All right. So now what I'm going to do, we're going to start getting into our animation. So what we're going to do, what's the name of the photo plugin, Ashraful says. So the photo plugin is called User Profile. So if you guys want to download this, you just go to plugins, you click this discover plugins photo. I'm on PC, but there should be a way to add plugins if you click this Lego piece here, and you just type in user profile. Boom. Go to this search all plugins and user profile. Just like that, right there. And there's an update for it. All right, so now we're gonna get into our animations. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to our prototype tab right here. And to answer the question of anybody who's watching this and does not know what Adobe XD is for, it's for creating the visual interactions, the prototypes for mobile apps, websites, and even social assets. So really anything you can put your mind to, but those are the typical things. So what I am going to do here is I want to set a drag animation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first row and I'm going to, maybe we want to do this one. Doesn't matter. Just pick whichever one. I'm going to pick this third row and I'm going to pick whip it to our second artboard here. I'm going to take our triggers here and I'm going to change it from tap to drag. And I am going to do the same thing. Actually, I'm not going to do the same thing. Our next artboard, what we're going to do is we're going to do a timed animation. So what we're going to do is we're going to just select the artboard. We're going to pull this pick whip all the way to the third artboard, and the trigger is just going to be time. We want 0 delay, and the duration, I don't think we want any. So let's just see what happens at 0, and we'll go from there. Let's see what we have. So I'm going to press play, see where we're at. So I'm going to drag, we get that nice little squeeze, and then it drops. Okay, so we are going to add a little bit of an animation here, or a duration. We're going to go back to 0.5, see what that does. And we will add a little bit of an easing to it, a snap, just so it doesn't go like, just like go into place. And we're going to do the same thing from basically the reverse. We're going to go take this, we're going to drag it to, actually I don't think it works that way. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this. We're going to take off the pick whip, and now we're going to kind of go in reverse, right? So we have, we're going to take this, select that third row, pick whip it to this new artboard. Our trigger is going to be drag, just like we did previously. And now we're going to do a timing trigger to our very first artboard. Our trigger is time, 0, easing, we'll do snap, and duration, we'll do 0.5. So let's take a look at what we have. So now we can drag both this way and, oops, aha, that's why. Let's see, let's check this out. We have our drag, easing, none. Okay, we're gonna move this because we have the drag, but we don't have the movement. So we're gonna go here, just like this. Let's see what we got. There we go. So now we have our little drag animation, pretty simple. So now what we're gonna do is we kind of want to select something, and let's see, we have about 2 minutes left. We're gonna do something very simple. So I'm gonna move all of this out of the way. And let's say we want to, I'm gonna duplicate this. And when this is selected, actually I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to do all this in the 2 minutes. We'll see what we get. When this is clicked, I basically want, when something is clicked or somebody's profile is clicked, I want everything to straighten out and this to increase. But I don't think we're gonna have enough time for that, guys. But most importantly, the main thing here, guys, was the auto animation in the drag was basically our #1 for today. And if you guys see that little bit of that weird animation there, that's just because of the few changes that I made. So don't worry about that. Oops, here we go. 1, 2, and I think I still have, there we go, deleted that. Because what we're gonna focus on next is, you guys submitted some pretty cool work. If you guys want to complete the rest of this, basically the 2-part piece that I made for you all, I left the rest of the complicated setup, which was not part of today, but just in case if you guys wanted to complete this for your challenge, I left it in there for you guys to check out. But I'm leaving that for you all in there to experiment with past the auto animation and the scrolling feature. So with that said, let's take a peek at some of your guys' work in Discord. And by the way, when you guys are finished with this application, if you guys want to export this or share your prototype link with us, if you want to share your prototype link, very simply, you want to go to share. You want to make sure that your view settings are on design review or presentation, whichever. Make sure that your link access, anyone with link can access, and you just press the create the link button, and you can pop that into our beautiful Discord in our feedback and challenge section, which with that said, let's actually dive into this. There was some really cool stuff that you guys presented, and I have to shout out Yuya. There's a couple ones that I brought up on my screen from earlier. I loved it because the use of Lottie was absolutely awesome. So let's actually pop this open into full screen and reset it. This was the challenge from yesterday. Excellent use of Lottie animations. Auto-Animate. Nice use of stacks. And again, beautiful Lottie animations. And added a very nice, great job achievement animation towards the end. I love it. So ladies and gentlemen, that is really going to be it. I know we still have about 3 minutes, but I'm excited to see what you guys come up with today's challenge, especially since I left a lot for you guys to use for your own creative thinking or process for the challenge. We did a main component today, but I left a lot of things to play with in the document itself. So I'm excited to see what you all come up with. And you know, you guys have been really encouraging each other and giving some pretty good feedback in the Discord. So I'm excited to see more of what you guys put together. And out of curiosity, how many of you guys, it seems like you guys are really getting the gist of the Lottie animations. How are you guys enjoying that? Very nice work. See, Lottie animations are just so cool, so clean, so simple, and they don't take a lot of time to bring into a project. And this one I just have to show. This is by the Masha. This is beautiful. We have to end the stream on the unicorns, guys. We got a thumbs up on this one. Wait, let's check out the video for this one. I thought this was pretty cute. And of course, with Lottie, you can create your own animations. You can utilize animations that are already in existence. Very nice work. All right, so again, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, if you are putting things on Behance, please remember, when publishing and you are, so we can see what's going on, so we can see your beautiful work, and it also gets curated in our XD Behance section. Please make sure to either include XD Daily Creative, or excuse me, XD Daily Challenge or XD Creative Challenge. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is about it for me. And if you do want to know how to export your work in XD, whether it be JPEGs, it's as simple as clicking your artboards and hitting Control E, or going to File, Export, Selected. You can do PNG, PDF, JPEG, what have you. Export it where you want and bring it on over to your Behance file or project. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today on Adobe Live. And with that said, Sam, thanks for hanging out. Maza, Lauren, Annie, Umacorn, and really everybody else, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, and I can't wait to see what you guys have cooked up for this challenge. So with that said, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy. Bye.